dagger, man. All right. So that's why he's slow able, man. All right, because the sword, that's his blessing, man. All right. Go to Isaiah 60.
It's back in Isaiah 60. Isaiah 60 and 2. For behold, the darkness shall cover the earth,
Yep.
and gross darkness the people.
Yep. All the lies that the so-called white man puts out. All the philosophies, democracy. All right. Having you believe in his dollar bill. All right. His philosophy of accepting transgenders and fucking lesbos and gays and all that shit, man. All right, that's wicked philosophies, man. That's totally adverse to what the Most High says, man. All right. And I believe you did a video earlier saying they got prosthetic.
Genital prosthetics for transgender children.
Right. That's fucking crazy.
We talked about that years ago, baby
dildos. Yeah. They're going fucking nutty, man. You know,
bizarro world, man.
Bizarro, man. Abnormality. You know, that's what's being pushed. The spirit of perversion. You know? Everybody's deviating from the righteous way. You know,
it grows darkness to people, man. All right, go ahead.
Grows darkness to people, but the Lord Yahweh shall arise upon thee, and his glory shall be seen upon thee.
Yeah, upon his elect, man. All right, you actually looking at Yahweh Ba'Shem Al-Shai right now, man. All right, you looking at his prophets, man. The prophets that he sent to tell you that your kingdom is coming down, Mr. White Man. All right, that's it. Yeah, Joel 10.
And if I may say real quick, if somebody can, Bubba Shaw, get Philippians 2 and I believe it's 14. It's basically that light, you know, which Yahweh Shai is the light. But once we became his disciples and we learned and you know, now we walk in his path, we hold the light now. So Jake that's in darkness, in order for them to come out of darkness, they have to come to the light. So we actually are bearing the light that Yahweh Shai passed to his men. Yeah. So right now we're in the midst of a nation that's in gross darkness, but we're like that flicker, you know, that lamp that's in the midst of that darkness, man. Yeah. Real quick, Philippians 2, and then back to you, bro.
You wanted
2 and like 15.
Yeah, about 15. All right. Come. Philippians, Philippians 2 and 15. It says, that ye may be blameless and harmless, the sons of the Most High God, without rebuke, in the midst of a crooked and perverse nation.
In the midst of a crooked, you know, meaning a perverted, ass backwards nation, man. You know, Jake being into all type of madness, you know, wayward philosophy, you know, acting like a bunch of deviants, just like the rulers at that time was what? The Romans. You know, Jake was perverted, following after them damn Roman customs, man. So those that followed the anointed and they, you know, preached his doctrine and walked in his word, they were polar opposites to those that were within society. So they were a representation, man, of the Lord, you know? So, hey, we in America, and we're against the ways of this wicked society. But the way of this society is gross darkness. You know? Homosexuality, lesbianism, that's gross darkness, man. You know, pedophilia. You know? So we're shining the light, which is this word, man. Go ahead, bro.
It says, among whom ye shine as lights in the world.
Hey, among whom you shine as lights in the world, man. You know? So Yahweh Shai, him being ultimately that light. Because that's who we're shining. We're shining Yahweh Shai to you, man.
Right.
Walk in his way. You know, which is what? To walk in the spirit, man. Walk in the ways of righteousness. He's the law. He's the word of the Most High, man. All right? And if you come unto him, you'll be coming from darkness into his marvelous light. You won't be a damn a pedophile if you come to the Lord. You won't be a homosexual or a lesbian or an adulterer or an idolater, man. Worshiping this worthless ass money, man. Killing each other for $2-3, man. That's gross darkness, man.
But money that ain't even worth the ink that it's printed on, man.
Nah, man.
There's more, right? Yeah. It says verse 16. It says, "Holding forth the word of life," which is why that light, that word is what, that wisdom is what is that guiding light, so to speak.
Yep.
Is what is Yahweh Shai that paved the way before us and lit the righteous path before us amongst all the darkness of the world. It says that I may rejoice in the day of Yahweh Shai, that I have not run in vain, neither labored in vain. I got one. 1 Thessalonians chapter 5, verse 4, it says, "But ye brethren are not in darkness, that day should overtake you as a thief. Ye are..."
Yeah, like we measure the prophecies, all right, that's written in this book, and match them up to what's going on in current events. All right, we're not in darkness, man. All right, we know the RFID chip is the mark of the beast.
And not to take it.
Yeah, not to take it. All right, we know thermonuclear missiles are going to destroy America. All right, that's a part of that light Yahweh Shai gave to his people. All right.
It says, "Ye are all the children of light and the children of the day. We are not of the night nor of darkness. Therefore let us not sleep as do others."
Yeah, 2/3 of our people asleep, man. All right, they got great fat on their spirit, man. All right, Isaiah 6 chapter 6 and 9, man.
Like if you had like earmuffs almost, if they have a cushion that they can't get the vibration of righteousness into them, and that wickedness can't get out because that fat is latent and got it compacted in there. We got to trim that. That's what we're out here to trim the fat off of the elect's ears and circumcise their hearts. That's the circumcision is taking that off.
Yeah, and it shouldn't take you. Once you see the prophets on YouTube, it shouldn't take years for you to like really get it. You're supposed to get it like quick, snap in a hurry, man. All right. You're supposed to wake up. Okay, that's the truth.
Yeah.
Hey, because if you don't come in, quickly, that goes to show you that it was never really in you.
Right.
Because you gotta wake something up in somebody that's already in them.
Right.
That's what it means to educate.
To draw from within.
If I'm able to educate you, that means that I was able to draw it from within you, meaning it was already in you. I just have to enlighten you to bring you to remembrance. All the elect, they're gonna be educated, man.
What's that movie? Captain America, Winter Soldier, where the guy had hear like code words. For him to wake up and do his super soldier shit. That's the same thing with these scriptures,
waiting
man.
on these code words.
Yeah, the code, the secrets, man. All right. Once you hear the word, you're supposed to wake up right then, man. Then you start learning, But that belief comes once you hear the word, man. All right. It'll take you years to actually start believing in it, man, and start doing the works.
I could actually drop it there. I mean, there's a little more, but I could that was Job.
Job 10 and 21. But before I go, whence I shall not return, even to the land of darkness.
Yeah, this is the land of darkness, man. America, man. NATO and the EU, man. Other parts of the world, man. The so-called white man rules everything. All right, don't let him lie to you saying he just owns America and Britain and NATO. He owns obviously in Russia. He owns Africa. All right, so-called black people think you're from Africa and shit. The white man owns Africa, man. He owns
Named
China,
after
all
him.
that shit, man. All right, this is his world, man. All right, and he has the other nations, backing him up and shit. But the other nations don't mean shit to the white man. The white man piss on the other nations, man. All right. Yeah.
even to the land of darkness
Land of darkness, right?
and the shadow of death.
Shadow. Hey, this is the shadow of death. All right. What's that? Psalm 37, 20. Yeah, 23. Yeah.
A land of darkness as darkness itself, and of the shadow of death, without any order, and where the light is as darkness.
Yeah, where the light is darkness, man. All right, we're coming out here proclaiming the light, man, the word. All right, unto the world. All right, which is darkness. All right, the world looks at us as being weird, all right, bizarre, all right, taboo. All right, because we're the light, and they're saturated in darkness, man. All right, but we look at you as taboo, bizarre. You know, so it's that balance, man, that the Lord set up, all right, on this planet, man.
That goes into Wisdom of Solomon, the 2nd chapter. You know, being an infamy to the transgression of their education. You know, we're totally contrary to the world, man, and that's how it's supposed to be. And that's the duality of the Lord, man. He has set righteousness, you know, the godly against the sinner, you know, good against evil, you know. That's what you see happening in the earth, you know.
Like you have the elite bankers, which are Edomites. They're the wicked Illuminati. They're the wicked light bearers. But Yahweh Shai and his men are the righteous light bearers, man. All right, the righteous Illuminati, man. All right, the Lord created both good and evil, man. Righteousness and wicked. Yeah?
Hey, if I may say real quick, like when we read that in Ephesians, the 6th chapter, where it talks about we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, spiritual wickedness in high places.
Yes.
And it talks about the rulers of the darkness of this world. In order for you to be the rulers of darkness, you got to know the light, man.
Yeah.
So you got to know a
Stay the
form
hell away
of light, you know. So they obviously them devils, the Illuminati, they know something that a lot of you peons don't know. That's why they're able to have that major influence in control over you, man. They're able to manipulate you through the media, you know, through the so-called educational system. You know, they're the ones that guide the curriculum. Okay, so all this, you know, these movements that have been set up over the past 30, 40, 50 years, they're the ones that have been setting those things up as stumbling blocks for the people to keep them in gross darkness, man. Whether it be women's liberation, feminism, you know,
Government aiding.
yeah, depending on the government, you know, all that, man. The civil rights thing, the whole pro-black shit, that whole wave, going back to the 60s. Esau he was with all that, man. All that was just controlled opposition. That's all that was, man. Don't think that for a second that this white man has any good interest towards you tribes, man.
Right.
All right? If he does anything good, he does it unwillingly.
Yeah.
But it's back on you, bro. Joe 10.
Get a Sirach, 12, 10,
It's Sirach, Ecclesiasticus 12 and 10, and it reads, Never trust thine enemy.
Can I say this right quick? You brother?
No, go ahead.
Now I was just gonna say, and the 2/3 of our own people are our enemy, because they're enemy to our Lord, because they're enemy to light. They'd rather walk in darkness than walk in light.
For like his iron rusteth, so is his wickedness.
Yeah, well, this is talking about the white man, but hey, our people goes along with this white man program, so that makes you the enemy, man. All right, It's Proverbs Proverbs at 21, I think. Though hand joined in hand, the wicked shall go unpunished, man. Yeah, 11:21. So, yeah, man. So our people gonna catch the same hell as this white man, man. Over here in America, man. You're gonna taste the same fiery death that the so-called white man and these other nations, man. All right, via nuclear destruction. All right. Yeah.
Though he humble himself and go crouching, yet take good heed and beware of him.
Yeah.
And thou shalt be unto him as if thou hast wiped the looking glass, and thou shalt know that his rust hath not been altogether wiped away.
Yeah, this so-called white man, he gives you these programs to, benefit you. You know, he gives you money.
Yeah.
All right. He gives you the tax returns and
EBT.
and the jobs or whatever. Still don't trust him, man.
Time.
All right, because he has ulterior motives, man.
Time, bro. Like even what you said, the scriptures say a gift destroyeth the heart. You know, so when our people are getting all these government-funded programs, you know, whether it be EBT, Section 8 housing, and all these different things, you know, they looking at the so-called white man like, dang, like he got to be good because he giving me this. But you don't understand, like the brother said, the ulterior motives behind it is now you don't have a man in the house, you know. Now the family structure is broken up, all because you trusted your enemy and forgot that your man was supposed to be on your team.
And our people don't understand that the world belongs to us, man.
God.
The whole world, man. The whole planet Earth, man. All right. So it's crazier, man. Our people just sell out over a piece of paper, man, with the so-called white man on it, man. That's what you've been reduced down to, man. All right.
Set not by him, set not by thee, set him not by thee, Slakia. At least when he hath overthrown thee, he stand up.
Yeah, the worst thing for you niggas was integration.
Time, bro.
You know, that was the worst thing.
Masterful move on the part of Esau, bro. Because now we can watch you close and up close and personal, and when your thoughts go toward righteousness where they should be going, you can hurry up and correct it and penalize them.
They use that Martin Luther King. Yeah, he was a homosexual.
Michael
Right.
King.
They propped him up as being the forefront of civil rights. All right. They used his ass, man. And now look at the state that our people are in. It's totally gone, man. Or lost, man.
Oh, if I may say, that same platform, the civil rights movement, it was originally started by a homosexual named Bayer Rustin.
Which is his lover.
That was his secret lover right there, man.
Yeah.
And that same platform is now used to advocate for the homosexual community, man. The lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender community, man. You know? And notice that they have the same approach. It's about rights. It's about getting power and being seen as equal, right? So they're using that platform to say lesbians, gays, bisexuals, homosexuals are just as equal with the so-called black men.
Yeah.
You know,
They
our struggle, we're in the same struggle
Yeah.
to get everybody to empathize with their perverted wickedness, man.
And I gotta say it like this too, because everybody in the world knows that if you get the so-called black man's approval of something, the black community's approval, then it's good.
Yep.
So they hurry up and went to them and liken the struggle to one another. Now you're accepting it, then the trend is going to follow because the world follows after Jake.
Then they try to put that on their flag. It's a lot.
Through the black,
Yeah.
Yeah, they do black and
through
brown
black on the
and
flag,
brown.
yeah, and brown, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. That's why you never supposed to get close to your enemy, man.
It said in that verse, it said, or when he get next to him, he will overthrow thee and take thy seat, and take your spot.
Look at the condition of the so-called black and Hispanic family prior to integration. Things were completely different. Jake at least had a moral conduct about themselves, man. You know, there was a different way that they had traditional values. Jake valued family back then. Women, they were more family oriented, and men were more family oriented. And women were effeminate. They knew their role. They knew their position. The men, they wasn't fagged out and emotional and soft. They knew that they had to be men. You know, they had to learn trade. They had to learn skill. You know, teach their sons how to, be men. The mothers groom their daughters up to be wives, man, and to know their place and to be submissive. All that shit. We came together with the so-called white man. Now you a bunch of hoes, you a bunch of faggots. You infested with all type of diseases. All right, broken homes, out of wedlock. All right, bastard children, foster homes, dysfunctionality. Ever since we came together and learned the ways of this damn devil, man. That's why the Lord told us from the beginning to stay separate, man. Be ye holy, man. Don't make no covenant, don't make no agreements or no friendship with the heathen, man. This is what happens, man.
It's supposed to be a clear difference between us and the heathen.
Come on.
On sight, but then in conduct also.
Now you got children. I saw on World Star, you had this tatted up nigga bitch. Oh, fucking trifling, nasty bitch. This bitch had a baby right behind her, and she was twerking on the baby.
Twerking on the baby.
Come on, man. It's fucking depraved, man. You know?
If you don't think that there's something like, if you don't think there's something wrong with that, you're in darkness. If something's wrong with you, if you think that, I don't care if you want to be, it was all in fun. That's for the world to see now. That's an image you can't take back.
That wasn't cute, all right? That was straight up perversion, man. That's wickedness, man.
The worst one than that,
shit like that should have got. Shit like that right there is supposed to get the same outrage that R. Kelly is getting.
Surviving the black guy. Surviving the black guy.
A lot of that type of shit goes on, and it's normal in the so-called J community, man. And there's no big outrage, no uproar about none of that shit. But because R. Kelly's getting flamed right now, everybody on this fake ass outrage, hopping on the bandwagon, let's get R. Kelly. You know what I'm saying? That temporary forced outrage that y'all on right now. You people are full of shit, man.
And then stuff like that R. Kelly shit gonna boost the Me Too and all that women shit.
Yeah. And all these dumbass women, they about to get in on that.
Yeah, I said it years before the truth. I said they let him go because he kept putting hits out. Now that he ain't putting them same hits out,
right.
Let's go get his ass.
Right.
But what I was gonna say about the lady twerking on the baby, that leads to something even worse. I know y'all seen the one a couple years ago where the baby was twerking. He's like 4 years old twerking.
Yeah.
Twerking just like a grown ass woman, like the pole and the whole nut.
Well, she learned that from her mother.
Hey, because what does the scriptures tell you? It says, "Mistress women shall bring forth monsters."
Yeah.
You know, it tells you how cruel the women of our nation are to their children, to the seed. You know.
Hey, but we're gonna get right back to the scriptures. We gotta get the scriptures out. But hey, this is what happens when you live in a liberal world governed by the wicked. The wicked wants you to live like that, man. He wants you women to be freely promiscuous and to live loose like that, man. So you can teach your children how to be wicked, you know? So that's why you're not supposed to trust the enemy, man. All this gross darkness is because of the rulers of the darkness of this world. Okay?
12. Set him not by thee, lest when he hath overthrown thee, he stand up in thy place.
Yeah, our people are overthrown, man. Overthrown. And we talked about integration, man, back in the 60s, man. All right?
Hey, Jake thought they got their victory with that whole shit. But all it did was actually, the white man was like, you know what? No, we can come together. And that's what fucked your whole community up even more.
Even the regular Edomites, they was like, they was opposed to it, man.
Yeah, they was against that shit.
It was against that. It was actually the government, man. You through the elite bankers. You know, to push that whole agenda through.
And then you had several court cases that happened in that time.
Yeah.
Brown versus Board. And,
Board of Education.
Board of Education. Talking about the Little Rock Nine and all these different cases.
Yeah, it's like it was a case before then where they made a movie out of that shit. Where the so-called black woman was in a relationship with a so-called white man, and there was a whole big debacle about that. I believe it was in the 60s. I mean, in the 50s or something like that. But they made a whole movie about that, man.
You had Ruby Bridges. She was, I believe, she was either in like elementary or middle school. But you know, she was a Jake that went to an all Edomite school. You know, just because it was part of that integration thing that the elites was setting up. You know.
Why would you want to go to an all Edomite school if you're a so-called, you know, black Latino Native American? Right? Man, you so-called black man, you nigga want to go catch it, bro. You know? I ain't gonna have no mercy on you, man. Don't share no pity on you. Alright?
Yet take good heed and beware of him, and thou shalt be unto him as if thou hast wiped a looking glass, and thou shalt know that his rust have not been altogether wiped away.
Yeah.
Set him not by thee, lest when he have overthrown thee, he stand up in thy place. Neither let him sit at thy right hand, lest he seek to take thy seat, and thou at the last remember my words and be pricked therewith.
Yeah.
Who will pity a charmer that is bitten with a serpent, or any such?
Yeah, Esau's a serpent, man. Alright? He's a serpent, man. He's gonna bite you, man. Alright? No matter how he comes to you, man, he's gonna bite you eventually. And that bite, that's a hard bite.
When he said, remember my words and be quick them with, I mean, always, don't forget what I'm telling you. Always bring this to mind. Always, don't never trust you. Never. Always keep that in the back of your mind, no matter what kind of business you deal. If you deal with it that way, you still don't trust this man. Under no circumstances. He said if you go crouching and all that, don't trust this man under no circumstances.
Who would pity a charmer that is bitten with a serpent, or any such as come nigh wild beast? So one that goeth to a sinner, and is defiled with him in his sins, who will pity?
Hey, because Jake is joined into when he joined with Esau's sins, man.
Blacks for Trump, yeah. On the election, blacks for Trump.
He joined in with his sins, man.
And I gotta say this since I brought up blacks for Trump. It appears that we're for Trump. No, we're with the destruction that Trump is bringing to America. Because he's trying to help hurry up and get us up out of here. We do not like, believe in, or trust that so-called white man.
Yeah, Trump ain't nothing but a vessel with the Most High used, man, to further bring down the destruction of America, man. All right?
It says, for a while he will abide with thee, but if thou begin to fall, he will not tarry. An enemy speaketh sweetly with his lips, but in his heart he imagineth how to throw thee into a pit.
Yeah, the whole system, man. The word system means pit. All right, and our people is in the pit, man. All right, the so-called Negro, Latino, Native man, American man. All right, we're on the bottom of the totem pole, man. All right, and the so-called white man use our women against us, man. All right, put us, lock us up in jail, child support. All right, you know, the destruction of the family structure. You got the women raising the children. All right, by herself, and she's teaching them nothing but emotion. All right, they don't have that balance in the household, man, with the men in the household. All right, that's all systematically designed. All right, by the so-called white man. All right,
An enemy speaketh sweetly with his lips, but in his heart he imagineth how to throw thee into a pit. He will weep with his eyes, but if he find opportunity, he will not be satisfied with blood.
Man loves blood, man. It's because blood have pursued people. blood shall, since you have pursued blood, blood shall pursue thee. This man is always looking for a way to destroy Jacob. Back from the days when our forefather Isaac was on his deathbed passing out the blessing. He still hates you from there. That's how deep his hatred goes. He ain't never forgot about this.
Cain.
Oh yeah, Cain. That's right, the jealousy of Cain. Hey, and if you want to go deep about the serpent, he knew that they would die.
Yeah.
You know?
It tells you in the Apocrypha, basically it was the envy of the devil.
Yeah.
That he beguiled Eve to beguile Adam to turn away from the way of the Most High, because if you think about it, we're a representation of the Most High, so we're like, you know, we're known as the sons of God.
Right.
Esau wants that position. He wants to be the son of the Most High.
Yeah.
So because he saw that Adam and the sons of God had the way, he's like, you know what, let me offset that.
Yeah.
Let's turn them out of the way. And once they got turned out of the way, that's when death began to reign on the earth, man. I think that's Wisdom of Solomon, the 2nd chapter. It talks about the envy of the devil. So he even had hatred even back then during the time of Adam, man. For him to go to Eve and like literally lie to her in her face,
Yeah.
you know, and tell her, hey, if you learn this stuff and you get involved with this, you ain't gonna die. You're gonna be as a god, you know. Was it like the last verse?
Yep. Yep.
You can start a verse up and then read that.
I'll start 23. Wisdom of Solomon chapter 2 verse 23. It says, for the Most High God created man to be immortal and made him to be an image of his own eternity.
Yeah, the sons of the Most High, man. Let us make man in the likeness of our image, you know. And we was originally supposed to walk in the commandments perfectly, you know. But what ended up happening? The Lord created that serpent, which was to fulfill the purpose of bringing that balance of good and evil. Because the Lord created the wicked for the day of destruction, man. You know?
It says, verse 24, nevertheless, through envy of the devil, came death into the world.
Came death into the world, man.
And they that do hold of his side do find it.
Yeah, so if you want to continue to listen to the white man, the so-called white man, and learn from him, you know, and have him convince you that it's okay for a girl to wear boy shorts with small bulges in it, you know. If you want to listen to that and take hold to that, like that's somehow a profound way of life, you know, that's something to be progressive, then hey, death will find you. You know?
It's obvious. It's so obvious that the serpent is Esau, the so-called white man.
He's fully
It's the same motives, man. He's still telling our people that it's okay to go against the Most High.
Yeah.
You know, and our people follow it.
And the messed up part about that is that a lot of he made our people forget that the Most High is real,
Yeah.
or where to find him. He's still in the book. He's still in the book. I got a quick one. St. John chapter 8 verse 44. Ye are of your father the devil, and the lust of your father will ye do. Talking about they followed after the lust of the devil before.
Yeah, the white man.
Yep. It says, he was a murderer from the beginning, and abode not in the truth, because there is no truth in him. When he speaketh a lie, he speaketh of his own. For he is a liar, and the father of it.
The father of it. Going back to the serpent. All right? So, following him is only going to get you death. You're going to be destroyed, man. And like it tells you in Proverbs, he that it tells you in Proverbs, the 26th chapter, that when you lie to somebody, you actually hate them because it actually affects them. You know? If you tell a lie to somebody and you lead them astray on purpose, like intentionally, That's hatred. You know, and you don't care about the effects that can be caused behind that lie. What he did by lying caused that string of death, in that we have to, that whole cycle of life and death. It got to play out constantly over and over, based on that action that the serpent did, man.
Thousands of years later.
Yeah.
Stay with them.
Yeah. Just through that course of action, that's why we gotta anticipate death. You know?
I got
Yep.
I'm start at 22. This is Proverbs 26 and 22. The words of a talebearer are as wounds, and they go down in the innermost parts of the belly, burning lips and a wicked heart.
Hey, because now that you done digested that lie as truth, it gets in there and it begins to affect you. Now your thought process is now changed because of that lie, which now sets off a vibration of thought that you think like the way we talk about Cesare Borgia being when they pushed this lie out there, right? You push that lie out there, now the minds of the people really believe this image is what he's supposed to look like. They can't see a so-called black man or dark-skinned man could be the Messiah. Most people go, no way. You know, he ain't white, but he ain't black though. Like that perception sits in your mind and alters the way you think, believe, and your actions in the future. Right? Just off that lie, a simple lie.
He created mass stumbling blocks against you tribes, man. You know? Because this is a false idol. An idol is basically a representation of a deity. This man was not a deity. This was a homosexual. He was incestuous. All right, he was a cold-blooded murderer. He was all these things, man. And they deified him by painting the likeness of his image to be the Messiah, man. They lied on the Messiah. You know, that's what he did. So therefore, and then he went around and raped, robbed, and murdered with this demonic image, with this false idol. He used this false idol to basically take the world into his possession, man. All right, and he won over the minds of you simple Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans, man. So you will always submit to him as long as this image is in your head.
Right.
All right. Yeah, man.
Continuing Proverbs 26.
It's a lot, and that's why it tells you in Isaiah 25 that the Lord's going to destroy the covering cast, the veil spread over the nations. All right. Part of that covering cast is him lying about who the Israelites are, all right, who the Messiah, what the Messiah looked like, who the Heavenly Father looked like. All right, his plantation Christianity, that they're the Jews and we're the Gentiles.
Part of that stronghold.
Yeah, man. Stuff like that, man. You know, this man literally lied about everything. The whole world has been bamboozled, man. He lied about history, everything. And that's why us coming out here to set the record straight, that's part of destroying that covering cast.
That covering cast is the same as those strongholds.
Read the scripture.
You got a quick read?
Yeah.
All right, get it.
This is Job 9 and 24. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covereth the faces of the judges thereof. If not wherein, who is he?
Yeah.
The same thing with the covering cast. He put that over the face of him. And then he put his image over that.
Yeah.
and then continued to perpetuate the lie by saying it was always me, this is our people, it's not them. When it's wait, think about it. When you came into this truth, totally you acting right here, you came into this truth, then you automatically, like, you didn't know who was what. So when you heard it was like news to hear that our side was a dark-skinned man. Like, oh, well, that makes sense. It clicked. But it wasn't like something it was like something new you heard. Yeah. So like, whoa.
And when you read the scripture on it, it was like, oh shit.
Yeah. Like it's like that covering carrot got snatched off for that.
Yeah, we didn't come up with excuses.
Right. To keep him covered up. Right.
Because Jake want to be willingly ignorant, so they'll keep making excuses for him. They want to stay ignorant. They want to stay mentally enslaved. You know, they want to stay in Egypt. You know. Go ahead.
It's Proverbs 26 and 23. Burning lips and a wicked heart are like a potsherd covered with silver dross. He that hateth dissembleth with his lips, and layeth up deceit within him.
Yeah, it's like gold plated, but it's silver, but like gold plated. You're thinking it's all good and 100%, but it's just covered up to deceive you.
Not like we always say, poop wrapped in like gold foil or something. It says, when he speaketh fair, believe him not, for there are 7 abominations in his heart. Whose
7 meaning.
whose hatred is covered by deceit.
Hatred is covered by deceit, like a serpent. That's hatred.
Hey, God, just look, in the time where when Esau came over here, when the northern kingdom was over here, living well, what did he tell him? He made all these different treaties, talking about how they gonna have peace in the land. But what happened? He broke every single treaty and put genocide within our people.
Yeah, relegated you to reservation.
God.
You ain't got no running water.
God, the worst parts of the land. Now to continue, it says whose hatred is covered by deceit, his wickedness shall be showed before the whole congregation. Whoso diggeth the pit shall fall therein, and he that rolleth a stone, it will return upon him.
Ooh.
That big heavy weight. It make you think about that Indiana Jones movie.
Oh yeah.
That big
Temple
ass boulder. Yeah, the first one.
Yeah.
No, the first one.
What's
Raiders of the Lost Ark. That big ass ball rolling. Hey, you try to push that up to push it on somebody else, it's gonna roll back on you.
Yeah, that's why it says in Habakkuk, woe to you that put the bottle to your neighbor, make him drunk so you can look on his nakedness. The Lord knows that it's you that's contributing to why Jake is all messed up, man. And Jake is wicked in himself, but you help elevate Jake's wickedness, man.
Forward the affliction.
You help forward that, man. The righteous are what was that, Proverbs 12 and 26? But the way of the wicked seduceth them.
The ways of the righteous is more excellent than his neighbor, but the ways of the wicked seduce them. This is 28. A lying tongue hateth those that are afflicted by it, and a flattering mouth worketh ruin.
Hey, he hate those that love to tell lies, they hate when you discover the truth on them. Hey, the best thing you can do to somebody that lies is go to that person directly that they lying about and bring it up.
Yeah, they hate that shit.
Let's go talk to him. Nah, man, you know what I'm saying? Man, let's go find out exactly what he means. Now, I'm trying to tell you, man, he tripping. He's trying to keep the lie going until you show up and you confront him about it. And now that, like that movie Othello could have been, that movie with Mackay Pfeiffer or something, right? Or whatever. Movie could have been over in 10 minutes if he'd have just went directly to the guy or to his girl or whoever to find out what it was. But kept going round and round. It kept escalating to more and more and more. That's the way the devil works in that movie. That movie Othello was a Jacob and Edomite telling you the story about Jacob and Esau.
Hey, that's why, like, I'm glad you mentioned that. The fact when you confront somebody on their lie. And now the truth is being exposed, so that person feels very enraged about it.
God.
So now Esau, what is he doing now? He's doing damage control. Now he got to demonize the truth. He got to demonize the brothers, the camps. He got to set up agent provocateurs, and he got to do all that because the truth is coming out and is exposing them, man.
It's funny because you can't find a way in to rot it out from the inside like you normally would do. Because this ain't of you.
Yeah, man. And that's why, and that's how you know we're gonna have to expect that he's gonna eventually come after us, man. He gonna come against us, man. He gonna come as a great flood, man. That dragon coming after the woman, he's gonna do it because we shining the light and we exposing them.
Like you said about that lie, right? The scriptures tell us to go to that man directly if you have a difference between them.
Yeah.
Go talk to him by yourself, face to face, to find out you may be that he had not done it.
Hey, the wicked flee when no man pursue it, but the righteous are bold as lions.
That's
Bro.
right.
They're trying to, that damage control is them trying to run from the truth. All right? They're trying to run from judgment. That's why they don't want to be associated with the term Edomite or Esau. Because, hey, to be called an Edomite, that's a derogatory name. That's a household name. Jake in the world know what an Edomite is now, man. We were talking about that last night. Like, to be called an Edomite, man, that's the worst thing you could be labeled, man. You know? Yeah. But that's his identity. That's who he is. And he tried to hide that for so long. He tried to hide under the white banner.
And what it said in the Apocrypha about Edom, it says she is the only neighbor of the Israelites that was not promised mercy.
Oh, the dictionary.
The Most High, the Zondervan Compact Bible Dictionary.
Nahum chapter 3, verse 1. Woe to the bloody city, it is all full of lies and robbery. Yeah. The prey departeth not.
Yeah, it's full of lies and robbery. You know? A lot of deceit.
That's a dirty move right there. It's like, the guy went in front of his car, and the cop couldn't go right, the cop went anyway.
I'm going to jump down to verse 4.
Yep.
Because of the multitude of the whoredoms of the well-favored harlot, which is America, the mistress of witchcrafts that selleth nations through her whoredoms and families through her witchcrafts. Behold, I'm against thee, saith the Lord of hosts. I will discover thy skirts upon thy face, and I will show the nations thy nakedness, and the kingdoms thy shame.
So talking about exposure, man. I have uncovered the locks, make bare the thigh. You know, that's talking about the complete exposal of the so-called white man and his infrastructure, man.
Right.
It's bringing nothing but shame to his house. You know, everybody can see that this man is a deviant. He's the world's biggest pedophile. All right. He used religion to lure children in for his sick, twisted fetishes. You know? Everybody's seeing that, man. You can't trust him. You make deals with him, he's gonna go back and stab you in the back. You know? Just total exposure, man. Go ahead.
And I will cast abominable filth upon thee, and make thee vile, and will set thee as a gazing stock.
Hey, a gazing stock is basically something that you just stare at and you just be like, damn, you know? You just look on it, man. You know how when you stare at something and you just be like, what the fuck, man? That's how the nations are looking at the so-called white man in America, man. How Trump is handling shit, man. You know? Like, what a disgrace, man. You know? They can't even get shit together over there. The homosexuals in their military, transgenders. You know? Go ahead, man.
And it shall come to pass that all they that look upon thee shall flee from thee, and say Nineveh is laid waste.
Which Nineveh is a code word for America in modern times, okay? It was an ancient city, but now it's a code word for America. Hey, and what are they known for? Their military. America's known for their military, right? Trying to conquer shit.